Hey, it's Allison Stratton again. I'm just going through my reflection vlog on my persuasive speech project for Speech 101. So here goes. I have the questions in front of me just to remember them, as it was hard enough going through that speech. So what was the purpose of the speech? Well, the purpose of the speech was to persuade, obviously, as it is called a persuasion speech. I chose to do my persuasive speech on breastfeeding, as it is important to me because I just got done with it. For just over a year I breastfed, and it was a great accomplishment, and I would love to do it again if my husband and I are so blessed to have another one. And the other reason that I thought of is to become an expert on the topic. I put it into an organized speech and delivered it as a persuasive speech. Next question, how did you feel going into this speech presentation? I felt excited to research this topic. As I said, I just got done with it, and it was a great experience to kind of learn more, and I look forward to seeing how my daughter does and see if she is less susceptible to those diseases as I researched. I also felt a little overwhelmed when researching and putting together another big speech with all the important steps leading up to the big speech again, just because it is a big project for this Speech 101 class. Next question, did your speaker anxiety increase or decrease as you began your speech? I think it initially increased, as if any, the button gets hit play and it's like, oh my gosh, I have to speak again. And especially in front of those 3 people. I know that sounds terrible because if you're actually speaking in front of an audience, it's going to be much bigger than 3 people. But as it went on, I felt like it just kind of decreased a little bit because I got into my speech and I realized I knew what I was talking about. Next question, was your technology adequately prepared, and what could you have done differently or better? I think my technology is just fine. We have a Canon video camera. I don't exactly know which one it is, but it works just fine for my family and I. I don't have an HD video camera because this isn't a film course, but I think my technology was adequately prepared. So with that being said, I'll go to the next question. In terms of structure and organization, what element felt natural to you and what felt odd? I think the beginning and end are always like, okay, I gotta get this together and do my first, second, and third point and say all those mini thesis and thesis statements. But I think it definitely overall went better than expected, especially with those note cards did help. How did you consider your audience when developing your speech, and how did your audience respond to your speech? I considered my audience for this speech attentive and intrigued, as if it was mothers wanting to learn more about the topic and interested in, should I breastfeed, should I use formula? And I hope I did persuade them. If future people that are going to be future mothers or fathers potentially, that they do choose to breastfeed. And then the audience responded. I think they responded great. I think there's definitely, with any audience, there's going to be disagreements and agreements. That's just with everyday life in general. What did you do in your speech that worked and what didn't work? What areas can you target for improvement? What worked was getting my speech information and researching it, getting it put together. I felt like I had a grasp of the knowledge just because I just literally went through it. And then what didn't work so well was maybe the note cards, because I did look down a lot, probably a lot longer than the 3 seconds that was required, but it's kind of hard to remember those exact articles that you researched because you want to get them right and accredit the appropriate reference. And then target for improvement, there's always room for improvement in anything and everything I do. So with time, I think I'll definitely improve. And then just discussing with the book and referencing, I'd like to reference page 126. And I found it really interesting that you do have to adapt to your audience in order to get them to be on your side and persuade them to be on your side. So that was really interesting. So yeah, thanks for listening to my persuasive reflection video blog, and I hope you look forward to reviewing my persuasive speech online. Thanks.